Well, what better time to film a video than getting stuck behind a train? So I figured I'd do a quick video here of the Lexion slash binary tech screen. As you can see, I have the the CarPlay open right now. You can have Google Maps open, as well as, where did the car icon go? That's weird. Recenter. One of the things that I like is you can have Google Play open for navigation, and you can also have Waze open and get alerts for objects on the road or railroad crossing like I'm getting right now. Are these live? I don't think it works live, but maybe, I don't know. That's really cool. I never noticed that. I never used it locally. It's always on the highway. But anyways, so you have your main apps here. You have your widgets. Where's the train? Oh, it's Metro Transit. I thought it was going to be a freight train. I wanted to show a video of CarPlay while I'm navigating. You can move the map around with your joystick. It's really smooth. It's not like those cheap tablets, Chinese tablets, where it's like skipping around. Like, the display is very good on here. I would say the Apple Maps, how you can zoom in and out, is kind of frustrating, and that's standard across all CarPlay. It's not just this tablet, but you can't really zoom in or out. Instead of that, you have to go to these buttons and select that, and then press done. Honestly, this updated the car so much for me, because that was one of the issues I had with this car, is the infotainment was so old and dated, and the map, like the OEM navigation, is so bad. But this has truly changed the experience for me in the car. Hey, what's going on, guys? I made an installation video. If you're looking to install this, step-by-step guide, I'll add a link to that video. So this video, I'm going to be answering some of the questions that you guys have asked in the previous video, and some of the things that I've learned using this unit that I wanted to share with you. The top question that comes up is, how long does this take to boot up? And it's not very long at all. I would say it's very similar to OEM. So I'm going to go ahead and start that up. We'll look at how to switch between Android and the OEM, the Bluetooth and aux connection, and how the audio works. There were some questions about, can you use OEM audio and still use a unit? So we'll look at that. So I'll just go through a couple items. If you guys have questions, post them in the comments below. I'd love to answer them. And then based on this video, if there's a lot of similar questions, I'll make another follow-up video. There's a lot to get through, so I'm going to just go ahead and power on the accessory, and you guys can see. I'm not going to fast forward this. You can see how quickly it loads up. So I'm going to press that start button in 3, 2, 1. And you can customize this screen, so you can have it say different loading images. So this one is just the default binary tech one. There's a couple other options in there as well. I didn't see the time that it started booting, but you can see it's already good to go. We can switch over to the original option, and you have the OEM. It's just a stretched version of it. So I do use this once in a while. It's nice to see, sometimes I'll use the information screen here for like fuel consumption if I want to see. So you can still switch back and forth. You just press the menu button on the joystick. So you press and hold that, and then it'll go back into the Android Auto or CarPlay. This is connected to CarPlay right now, so you can see all my CarPlay apps. And then it has the little 3 widgets. So there's a lot of Android Auto and CarPlay videos, so I won't get into like how Android Auto works or CarPlay works, but just to give you an idea, it's a little different. Every car has different features and whatnot. I would say I've tried some of the 2023 and 2024 model vehicles. Their Android Auto has better audio control. What I mean by that is, if you're adjusting the volume, you just get this generic like volume up top. you can't customize the navigation sound versus media versus notifications. It's all just one audio. Like you can't really customize that. There might be options in here for volume, but when you're adjusting,
You can change
it was telling me, Siri was telling me use the car's audio. So let's say I'm playing music here, and I won't be able to do this because I'm recording a video, but let's say I'm playing music on the Android unit here. On the main unit, you have to go into the media, select the source, and you have to be on aux and not Bluetooth. When you're using the aux, the audio quality is slightly diminished. It's not that clear, I would say. Like if you're an audiophile, you could clearly tell the difference. If you're an average user, you're probably not going to be able to notice that much of a difference, but I would say there's less bass and the highs are not as clear. So you can connect a Bluetooth phone to this OEM interface, and any music you play will go through the OEM system just like nothing ever changed. The audio on the Android unit will stop working. So that's one thing to note. If you switch over to Bluetooth in the OEM, anything you're playing through here, whether it's maps, navigation, news, Spotify, YouTube, whatever audio player you have in CarPlay or Android Auto, it will stop working. So you will not receive sound. The Maps app and everything else will still show. There's just no audio because the audio connection, we switched to Bluetooth. So it needs to be, if you want the audio back, then you have to go back in sources and select aux, and then you'll be able to hear your audio. One tricky piece is sometimes when you connect both OEM and Android Auto or CarPlay, is when you turn the car off and on again. Sometimes, the phone will connect to the OEM unit and then you won't get any sound out of aux. There's just no pattern to it. I feel like it's 50-50 on what it's going to be. So you have to go in your iPhone or Android and switch to Bluetooth, which is really annoying. So for just the ease of having audio and not messing with it, I've just used the CarPlay, the new screen's Bluetooth. The other piece too is audio. Like I didn't plug in the microphone that came with it, and my audio works when I'm making phone calls. My microphone works. So I think that switches over to the Bluetooth on OEM when you make audio calls. So I have that phone icon connected. So let me show you what I mean. So if you go to connect, you have two of these icons. For this video, I had to pair it, but you see how they have two audio player and phone. If you want to make phone calls, I would just leave the phone connected and then disconnect the audio player. And then on your new unit, you can pair that as audio player. So music can go through aux, and then if you have to make a phone call, it will switch over and use the car's OEM microphone. That works fine for me. Steering wheel controls work, so I can answer and end the call. And then the on-screen works as well. Let me go into settings on the OEM unit. So you have CarPlay link. You can customize all of these, so you can press and hold, and then you can remove icons that were not originally on here. And then you can add any that you want, that any apps that you've downloaded you want to add onto the screen. You can just go in here and select which app you want to add. People are asking like, how do you update this Maps app? And so if you're using CarPlay, if your phone is updated and you're connected to the internet, these maps don't have to be updated. They're pulling directly from Apple servers or Google Maps servers, so you don't have to worry about maps being updated. Let's say you want to use this Maps app. So think of this tablet or a screen as a tablet. This Maps app is on here, but if you don't have internet, you're not going to be able to pull any maps data. You can download offline maps to this. So this Maps app, if you don't have your phone, you can use this Maps app. You can go into the settings and select offline maps. And then I downloaded this. You can select your own map area. So you can, if you connect to the internet, it'll load, which you can do that actually. Let me just show that quick. So if you swipe down from the top, there's this Wi-Fi icon. So you can do that, and then it'll look for Wi-Fi. So it's going to download that. So if you don't have internet and maybe your phone's dead, you can use the Google Maps app, and then it will navigate you. So it's gonna start downloading that. YouTube works too. So if you pull up YouTube and you have the tablet connected to Wi-Fi, so if you turn on your phone's hotspot, or if you're near a Wi-Fi, I don't know what I just did there, but I think it was saying something about my TV. But anyways, yeah, YouTube works. So we'll load up this video. I don't know if audio is gonna work because I'm recording this video, but you can see YouTube works. Okay, so let's take a look at the settings menu. There's two settings. One is for the Android screen unit, and then one is for like your Google Android setting. It's kind of hard to explain, but all your connections, I guess, are on this one. And then these are like options for how it interfaces with your car and your OEM system. So phone in car setting, these are just some of the Bluetooth settings. Navi setting, this one is the app you can customize, so it's tied to the home button or bind it to the home button on your joystick. So if you press home, it'll open up one of these apps. So you can select one of these when you press that button. I just have it set to Spotify. Really don't use this very much at all. Volume settings, you can select the navigation volume or the system volume. Again, I don't use this because this is if you're using Google Maps. I don't use that. I have my Apple CarPlay that I use. Language settings, you have Wi-Fi settings, which just takes you to the other Wi-Fi setting page. Voice button, like the voice to talk. Time setting, this is kind of interesting, unique way of looking at the menu. Brightness settings, I have it set to automatic. Display settings, brightness for the aux. And then CVBS, this is the backup camera. So contrast and brightness for that. I had to turn mine down because it was really white washed, like it was clipped white, but I had to bring these down and then I was able to see. Driving detection, I would turn this off because if it's on, you're not going to be able to change some settings while the vehicle's in motion. So I just have it turned off. Run navigation after boot, I just have this set to on. Car door display on the left or right. That's if your door opens, it'll notify you like that. Driving position, so left-handed or right-handed, it adjusts CarPlay whether the dock is on the left or right side. Advanced settings, there's a code which is 8868123. You're gonna need this code to get into the camera settings if your backup camera isn't working. So I had to do this. I had to go into car camera and then set it to a CVBS. I haven't really looked into this too much. I just had to do the car camera, and then I think there was one other setting I had to change. Rotary knob or mouse. So I have a knob, so I had to set it to this. Your radio area, country, or region. This is the one that comes up when you boot up. So boot level complete, restart. I'm not going to restart right now. And then original right logo. So this shows the vehicle when you're on certain parts of the screen. So they don't have a 15 or 16 IS, but the 17 IS is the closest one, so I just selected that. But they have a pretty long list here. Show the music icon, show the video icon. I think these are the icons that show up on the home screen that I really use. Support answer key multifunction. Not sure what that does. Touchpad lock into mouse mode. I have that off. Don't know what that does either. Touch correction. So if you're clicking and it's clicking somewhere else, like let's say you're hovering over this, but it's highlighting this, or you're clicking this and it's touching that. So you can go into touch correction. It doesn't open up anything. It just adjusts where the mouse is in relation to where it's showing on the screen. You can factory reset here as well, or you can get other information about the system. There is a way to update this over the air. And that's pretty much it on the menus. But all in all, I've been very happy with this unit. There hasn't been too many issues. There are some setup quirks that you have to go through. Like I mentioned, you have to switch to aux in the OEM. The backup camera has to be done in the advanced settings. I had to, figure out how the audio works. I had to connect to Bluetooth on this unit. Anyways, I've had no real issues with this. There have been a couple times where CarPlay just disconnected. it's happened on other cars too, so I'm not considering that as an issue with this unit. It's just, and you're playing music, and you know it's connected to your cell network, and there's Wi-Fi networks everywhere, and interference, you know, as you're driving. So a lot of things could happen, and so it's disconnected a few times. It's not an issue. It usually connects back up automatically within a couple minutes. So I've been pretty happy with it. I think that gets through all the questions that I've been getting. But if you have any additional questions, please post them in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing. If you have additional questions, I'll make follow-up videos. So let me know what you guys think of the unit, if you have it or if you don't have it. Hopefully this video helps you make the decision to buy. Thank you guys. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Okay guys, I made a huge mistake, but buy on Club Lexus and the Facebook page for Lexus saved me, because what ended up happening was, you see this joystick that I have, the knob, that actually, like, the whole thing stopped working. I couldn't pull up the OEM. Like, even if I got to this screen, like none of this would work. Like, obviously this isn't touch, so I can't use that, but the knob wasn't working either. So I was stuck on this, you know, map screen, and I couldn't do anything. The only thing I could do was touch on this, and for some reason it kept booting back up to the OEM. But finally I got it to this screen. I talked to Bai, and he said what I messed up was, if you go into the updates, do not touch the MCU or the CAN. Do not touch these two. Only do the OS upgrade. If you update the MCU or the CAN, things will break, because these are designed for specific cars. So I'm gonna just do a quick demo here. When you do a CAN upgrade, do you see how this is confusing? Because 243 is what I had, and I'm like, oh, 293, that's a newer version, and I have a knob, so I'm gonna go ahead and update that. I did that, and it broke everything. So if you go to this upgrade screen over the air, do not touch the CAN update. I talked to him about MCU, and he said don't touch that either. I don't know what kind of shenanigans that would do or what it would break, so I highly recommend don't do that. Just do the OS upgrade, and that's kind of what it looks like. You click OS upgrade as long as you're connected to Wi-Fi, which I am. You do over the air, and then you do online, or if you have the USB flash drive, and then it found an update. I'm not going to do that right now, but there is an update available, so you can go ahead and click OK, and it won't download right away. It's going to ask if you want to download. It'll give you the file size. You can start it, and then it'll download, and then after it's done downloading, then you can press apply or start. So I just wanted to show that, you know, just don't touch that option if that shows up, or if you're wanting to update. Don't touch MCU or CAN.